Hi. In the story today, there are four friends: Jake, Jane, Sam, and Dylan. They all go to the same school together and are best friends. Jake has blonde hair. He lives with Mum and Dad and Digby the dog, and Jake loves to pretend. Jane lives with her mum, two sisters, and a goldfish called Bubbles. Jane has blonde hair and loves to read and write. Sam lives with his two dads and his brother Tony. They have a dog called Barkley. Sam has brown hair and is in a wheelchair. Sam loves to draw. Dylan has brown hair. He lives with his mum and dad on a farm, close to Sam's house. Dylan loves coloring. Jake, Jane, Sam, and Dylan were all sitting quietly, waiting for a story. "Who knows what history is?" asked the teacher. "I know," said Jane, putting up her hand. "History is things that happened a long time ago." "That is right. Now, can anyone tell me what a time machine is?" asked the teacher. "No," said all the children. "A time machine is a machine that will take you to any point in history." "Now, we are going to have a story about a time machine," said the teacher. "Once upon a time, there was a professor who liked to invent things. He had sticky hour hair, round glasses, and a long white coat. He liked to think up lots of different things to invent, but his favorite thing was his time machine. The professor climbed into the time machine and turned a dial. There was a loud clicking noise. Then, there was a whizzing noise. Then, there was a loud bang, a flash of light, and the time machine disappeared. Suddenly, the professor found himself in a strange jungle. There was a loud roaring noise. Roar, roar, roar. Then a large dinosaur came out of the tall trees. The dinosaur had never seen a professor or a time machine before. The professor waved, but the dinosaur looked very hungry and started to run towards the time machine. The professor turned the dial. There was a loud clicking noise, then there was a whizzing noise, then there was a loud bang, a flash of light, and the time machine disappeared, leaving the dinosaur very confused. "Oh, I would like to see some dinosaurs," said Jane. Jane pretended to be a big, scary dinosaur. The teacher continued with the story. Suddenly, the professor was outside a large castle. But as the professor looked round, he could see a knight riding towards him on a big black horse. The knight had shiny armor and a big sword. The professor was a little scared. The professor turned the dial. There was a loud clicking noise, then there was a whizzing noise, then there was a loud bang, a flash of light, and the time machine disappeared. "I want to be a knight," said Sam. He played at being a knight, pretending his wheelchair was a horse. The teacher continued with the story. The professor looked around and found himself in a field. He heard an engine noise, but he couldn't see anything. The noise was getting louder and louder. Suddenly, the professor looked up and saw an old plane coming into land, right where he was. It was going to crash into him. The plane got closer and closer. The professor turned the dial. There was a loud clicking noise, then there was a whizzing noise, then there was a loud bang, a flash of light, and the time machine disappeared, just as the plane took off. "I want to be an aeroplane pilot," said Dylan. He ran around with his arms outstretched, pretending to be an aeroplane. The teacher continued telling the story. The professor turned the dial the other way. This meant the time machine would not go back to the past but forwards to the future. The time machine stopped in a very strange place. There were strange houses and people were flying around on spaceships. "I'm getting hungry," the professor thought. So, he turned the dial. There was a loud clicking noise, then there was a whizzing noise, then there was a loud bang, a flash of light, and the time machine appeared back in his house, just in time for dinner. "Oh great! I would love to be a spaceman," said Jake. All the children went to get some crayons to draw a picture of what they wanted to see if they had a time machine. The end. I like that story. How much do you remember? Here is a quick quiz. Good luck. Who was waiting for a story? What question did the teacher ask the children? Who knew the answer? What is history? Who was the story about? What did the professor like to do? What was the professor wearing? What was the professor's favorite invention? What did the professor see first? Who pretended to be a dinosaur? What did the professor see next? Who wanted to be a knight? What did the professor see next? What was the last thing the professor saw? Who wanted to be a spaceman? Where were the children going while Jake pretended to be a spaceman? What did the professor do when he got back home? How well do you think you did? Let's find out. Who was waiting for a story? Answer: Jake, Jane, Sam, and Dylan. What question did the teacher ask the children? Answer: Who knows what history is? Who knew the answer? Answer: Jane. What is history? Answer: Things that happened a long time ago. Who was the story about? Answer: A professor. What did the professor like to do? Answer: Invent things. What was the professor wearing? Answer: Round glasses and a long white coat. What was the professor's favorite invention? Answer: A time machine. What did the professor see first? Answer: A dinosaur. Who pretended to be a dinosaur? Answer: Jane. What did the professor see next? Answer: A castle and a knight. Who wanted to be a knight? Answer: Sam. What did the professor see next? Answer: A very old aeroplane. Who wanted to be a pilot? Answer: Dylan. What was the last thing the professor saw? Answer: Strange houses and spaceships. Who wanted to be a spaceman? Answer: Jake. Where were the children going while Jake pretended to be a spaceman? Answer: To get some crayons. What did the professor do when he got back home? Answer: Had his dinner. Don't forget, if you like this story, please like and subscribe. And if you would like to buy the books, they are available on Amazon. Just search for the Little Scamps. See you next time.